the 19 relational brain skills. You see, relational skills are really the secret to making all your other skills matter. We learn relational skills from other people who have the skills. You see, early in life, we were brought into this world with, in a sense, kind of a blank relational slate. Our brain is this sponge that's just ready to learn. How do I be a human being? How do I live in this body that I have? And how do I interact with other human beings? And so we largely learn from our family at first. We learn how to be able to quiet, how to build some joy, and how to carry this joy with us, how to recover when things go wrong, how do we be ourselves during big feelings. And so the seeds of these skills are planted those first 3 years of life. And over time, we learn to strengthen these skills by interacting with other people who are at various stages of their skill growth. And we now know from brain science that these are foundational skills that every human brain has to learn. Thanks to Dr. Jim Wilder and his work, he recognized that not only are there these core skills that brain science says we must have in order to really function as a human being, Jim recognized as followers of Christ that there's also some spiritual skills that brain science wasn't going to come up with. So Jim came up with some from his research of the scriptures, and he added some what we would consider spiritual skills. For example, like learning to see what God sees. This is what we consider a learned skill. How do I learn to see people as God sees them? Which helps me when I need to forgive someone. Or Jim added the skill 14 of learning to stop the sark. So how do I learn to live in the spirit and not the flesh? So we learn relational skills primarily from people who have the skills. And when people have the skills, they'll use the skills as they interact with us. So we learn from their example and their modeling, but we also learn by them using the skill with us, by interacting with us. So for example, the first year of life, infant learns joy, learns to grow lots and lots of glad to be together joy. However, after the first year of life, infant's brain is wired to start feeling negative emotions. And now baby learns, how do I feel sad or mad, or how do I feel a negative emotion and regulate it and get back to relational joy? And how well this process goes largely depends on the caregivers who are with baby during those upsetting feelings and upsetting moments. And by that example, by the parent, the caregiver using that skill, it helps baby's brain learn that she can survive big feelings and learn to get back to joy. So over time, these skills are in a sense internalized, and we take them with us. So the first step with relational skills is just acquiring the skills. This is where we need strategic practice from people who have the skills to help us learn. And that's really why we designed the Thrive training. Thanks to Jim Wilder and myself, we designed over 20 years ago strategic training that nobody else in the world was doing, which was basically helping adults who did not have specific skills to learn new skills. So acquisition is the first step. I learn new skills that I don't have. The second step is I learn to strengthen these skills. So with practice with peers, I continue to improve my ability to use relational skills. But the icing on the cake is learning to spread these skills. We learn to propagate relational skills, which means I not only can use the skill and improve the skill, but now I can train you in the skill. And at Thrive Today, we're what we call the practice people. We're designing events and methods and resources to train relational skills so that whether you have the skill or need the skill, you can learn the skill, you can strengthen the skill, and eventually you learn to spread the skill. You see, our world is in need of these relational skills that help us to be the people that God designed us to be. Now, it's easy for me to be like Jesus with my words, but how do I be like Jesus with my character and my relationships? And that's really what we're after here at Thrive Today. We're training people to learn relational skills so that we can be the best version we can be this side of heaven.